I got to hold it up. We can't. I got to host it on my laptop. It's the only way it's going to work.
Okay.
Let's try it. And hopefully Russell will join us. Because we got time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 9:02. This is You Are Live.
Hey, it's the coach.
And the AD.
And welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, heard every Saturday morning right here. It's going to be in the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner. A lot of technical difficulties, slow internet. I invited my first guest, but I don't know if he got it yet. So we're going back and forth. And, we have Russell DeMasi from Savannah State, assistant football coach, recruiting coordinator. We wanted to get his outlook on what's happening with recruiting and what the guys are doing as far as classwork. And then we have the head football coach from Calvary Day School, Mark Stroud, should be on. I got to try and log him onto this too. And then Kevin Brown, the AD at Woodville Tompkins, who also has his son, Casey Brown, who we had on the first show over at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, about how this affected him as being a parent, senior losing their last year of college baseball. But the good thing is he can go back. So hopefully this is working, and we got people watching. Hey, make a comment. Let us know everything's going good. We'd love to hear from you. Let me set up my chat screen here somewhere. Go to settings. There's the comments. Okay, it might be running a little slow, so let me know if you're if there's an issue. You can hear us. Well, chat. I'm waiting. I thought the email might have went to Russell, and you're on, but the volume is going in and out. So we're having technical difficulties with the internet. Let me see if my volume's all the way up.
It's a cold morning, Karl.
I know.
It's 47 degrees out here, and so not your typical April morning here. A little bit cooler. It's been 80-something degrees, but a little bit cooler this morning. Maybe that's why the internet's a little bit slow, but we're glad to have you guys with us today. Once again, thanks to Coach's Corner for letting us be out here and being their beautiful Sound Garden. Once again, they will have a ton of fresh meats today. Boston butts, brisket, ribs, grilled chicken, all that on they're smoking and grilling starting this morning. And so make sure you drop by here to get some food to go. They also got the front of their store is like
right, you still there, right? All right. All right. Broadcast is running. We're going to go from the top again, okay? All right. Good morning, Savannah and the Low Country. We got the Wi-Fi problem fixed. It's the coach and the
AD.
We're here again. It's another Saturday morning live from the Coach's Corner Sound Garden. And remember, we're going to be presented by John Henderson and the coach's crew every Saturday during this coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, Coach and I are a little close, but just to get this going. But once again, I love doing this. This was all about as long as we got to stay in the house, we're going to find a way to do this show. Upgraded a program so you can see our guests and you can see us talking. And I do apologize about the start of the show due to the fact that we had Wi-Fi issues. So what do we got on the show today? We're going to talk to the coach, the real Coach DeMasi, Russell DeMasi over at Savannah State. He's the offense coordinator. He's the quarterback coach. He's the recruiting coordinator, checking kids' academics. We're going to see how this is affecting Savannah State and the coaches over there. Sean Quinn, great guy, doing a great job over there, the head coach. Then in segment number 2, he's probably wondering where we are because this guy runs the streets. Literally, he's a fanatic with running, and that's, of course, the head ball coach from Calvary Day School, Mark Stroud. How the high school coach is handling this. And then we got the AD, another AD from Woodville Tompkins, good friend of mine, Kevin Brown, good friend of Chad Griffin. Yep. His son, Casey Brown, was a senior at Georgia State in college. The kid into 15 games was batting 400, senior season gone, but he's allowed to come back. But we'll find out how he felt about that and how are the public schools handling all this coronavirus stuff, not being able to practice or play. So joining us right now on the Coach's Corner hotline, let me get him right in here now, is the real Coach DeMasi, Russell DeMasi. Good morning, Russ.
What's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you having me.
Well, Russell, we just had a lot of Wi-Fi issues. Dad, I'm playing with a lot of stuff and trying to get a lot of things fixed. So let me get this closer to the mic so people can hear you. Okay, you got to love live internet and live radio. So how's it going? What have you been up to?
Nothing. You guys are like us. You're just finding a way to get it done. And, that's what we're trying to do right now. You got to find a way to do it no matter what the circumstances are. And, we're just trying to keep in touch with our guys. We talk to them daily. I know I keep in touch with mine, create a schedule for them, make sure they know what, because they're taking all online classes now. So that's what it's about, is making sure these guys are fine academically, through this rough time and, making sure they're staying healthy and their families are staying healthy. That's number one. So good decision, to have them home. We're eager to get them back, but we don't want to push too soon. And, we put a lot of faith in the guys to do what they're asked to do.
Hey, Russell, kind of walk me through what your structure is like for your football players right now.
Right.
Kind of what you have them on a schedule. Obviously, they're doing online classes, but what else do you have for them, like maybe on a daily or weekly schedule that's being sent out to your student athletes?
Well, everything's voluntary right now. We keep in touch with our guys just to make sure they're doing the right things in the classroom. They're still taking their classes. All their classes are moved to online. It's not going to change their schedule. They're getting assignments daily, weekly. Usually things to do on Friday. They've got a test usually in every class. We meet with them, usually Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays when they don't have class. Usually it's in the morning. Make sure they're up. Make sure they're not missing a meeting time if a professor has a meeting on WebEx or a different type of web platform. And then from there we go on and make sure their assignments are going well. Not a lot of football being done. We try and, our strength trainer does a great job of putting out social media videos of their workouts of the day. We try and make sure they're keeping up, staying in shape, running, lifting, doing whatever they can, backpack rows. And then last but not least, making sure that they're taking care of their health, because that's their number one important thing right now. But those three things, just trying to make sure on a daily basis. And then we meet as a coaching staff, daily, as a whole group every day, Monday through Friday. And then as an offensive staff, 3 to 4 times a week, meeting, talking about what we're going to do, watching film from the previous season and the previous spring, because we're one of the lucky ones that got springs in. So we got to see what our guys can do, got to improve them a little bit. And that's where we're at right now.
I'm just, I do apologize, Russ. I'm trying to get this to work right. Of course, Mom has helped me out, sending me comments, and it's running the way it should be. And being so active and being in the office every day, How does it affect the coaching staff? How is it affecting you guys? Coach Quinn's all over the place. He's the Tiger King. I know nothing about the Tiger King, so don't ask me any questions. But how does it affect you guys that, you guys too have been so active, and now you're just sitting in front of a computer and Zoom meeting kids? I mean, how is that affecting you guys?
It's a lot different. You're used to the face-to-face interaction, especially with the kids, first and foremost. But then with the coaching staff, you're in there with them, 14 hours a day during the season, 10 hours a day out of the season. And, you're used to going and be able to talking to somebody. Now it's all done through emails. It's all done through text messages, through phone calls. It's different, but, we have the platform to be able to succeed with it. It's not about, what you can't do. It's about what you can do. And, we're finding a way to get it done. And, hopefully we come out of the other side better and learn how to communicate better, not having to be face to face, learning how to use our phone, use our emails the right way. And, we're doing a great job keeping up with each other. Coach Quinn does a great meeting with us every day and letting us know what needs to be done, what our next focus is for that day. But it always comes back to, first and foremost, it's about the kids and being able to keep in contact with the kids. So we're in contact with them more than we're in contact with each other.
And you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the coach, Karl DeMasi, and the AD, Calvary AD, Chad Griffin. Throwing the ball to you, Coach.
Yeah. Hey, Russell. So, during this time, this is a huge time for high school student athletes in the spring for football and recruiting. During this time, you guys are out on the road. Everybody's out on the road, going to high school, checking up on kids, watching film. What has the process been like now from a recruiting standpoint for you guys? I'm sure huddle's been huge, but you also can't see. That's going off kids, in the fall, and their huddle in the fall, but also the one thing that might have hurt is you can't see it. Maybe this kid's put on 25, 30 pounds in the off season. And, we have a guy, Fuchsius Lewis, who's now 290, but looks like he's 260.
Wow.
And so we were super excited about colleges coming back through this spring and to see him, because he had some injuries in the fall, but he looks really good right now. I mean, he is put on weight, but it's all muscle. He's, kept his quickness. And so for you guys, what's been the main thing evaluating, huddle film? Then also, how has it changed recruiting for you guys, and how are you connecting with those kids you're recruiting?
Yeah, just like with our coaching staff and the guys on our team, you lose the face-to-face interaction. One of the reasons we did spring early is so that we could get on the road and go recruit kids and go recruit the right type of guys for our program. We're allotted a certain amount of days, and you can start usually April 1st going out on the road, and you've got all the way until May 15th, and then the camp circuit starts. You're losing all that now, and to not be able, you see a kid's junior film. And he looks like a good player. He plays well. He's a junior. He's 260 pounds. You like those linemen to be closer to 300 pounds. Then he loses this spring where all those colleges go out and see him and they're like, oh, this kid did crow. Now he's already a target. He's already a target. Not you got to wait till next fall where you see his film, and then it's too late. It changes the dynamic a lot. But I think what coaches got to do is they really got to go back and you got to trust the film. You got to trust what a kid puts on film. Secondly, how you learn about a kid is through social media. You go and investigate, and you see what his Twitter handle is the first thing. Then is it his name? Is it something different? Is it Mr. Ballstar? Is it something crazy? Or is it his name where you can actually find him? Does he market himself the right way? Does he say the right things? Coach Quinn always says, if I showed your Twitter to your mom, what would she say?
Wow. Well, I mean, that's great advice. I mean, me. I've preached it to you guys all along, and sometimes it gets back and it bites you where you don't want it to bite you. All right, we got a question from online, from Twitter. Has the Savannah State staff discussed what mandated weekly COVID testing would be like when you guys come back?
No, our AD's in constant discussion with our president. They're discussing all the possibilities, all the guidelines. So we trust in Mr. Mashariki and Dr. Washington, Dr. Kim Ballard-Washington, our president, to get the right things in place in order for us to succeed and come back and be safer, because that's what it's going to be about. Is coming back and being able to feel safe. People feel safe to attend games. Us feel safe to have practices out there in the open field with contact. Once the right people, the people qualified to make that decision, say it's safe to come back, we'll do that. But until then, we're going to find a way to get it done and get it done the best way we know how. And to finish, the last thing I want to say to Chad is the last thing we can do is we can communicate with them. We can talk to them on Twitter. We can text them. They can call us. We can call them once a week. So there's different ways to communicate with those kids, but you lose the eyeball test. And that's the biggest thing. You hear about the eyeball test all the time. It's true. People are the same on film. There's not much different about them. Who looks a little bit better? Who has better grades? Who has better academics? Those little things that add up to the overall grade and whether you offer a guy or not.
And you've been sitting and watching football film since you're 5 years old with me. And what did Dad always tell you? Film sometimes lies because you don't know what the kid is like. You don't know how fast he is. So, film is great. Huddle is great. But like you said, for me, the old ball coach, the new ball coach, which you just agreed would pop, it's the eyeball test.
I want to see somebody practice. That's one of the biggest things. You can go in there and meet a lot of kids, but it means a lot when a coach goes and watches kids practices. That means they're really interested. They want to see him move around. They want to see how fast he is, how quick he is, how he interacts with the coaching staff, how he interacts with his teammates. Because you want a guy to come in and fit your program style and will fit in with your teammates. Above all else, they're going to spend 4 years with those guys. If football doesn't work out for them, they're spending 8-10 hours a day with those guys. They got to like those guys to like their environment and have a successful environment in place.
I like that. Those guys, not y'all. That's very good, Russ.
Hey, last thing I want to ask you, with this downtime, I know obviously you're scheduled out with everything, but has this allowed you guys, the coaching staff, to go ahead, or have you probably already done it, start breaking down film of your opponents, that's on your schedule this year? Has it allowed you to have more time to have more breakdown of your future opponents?
Yeah, no question. We're already in that process. For about the last 2 weeks, we've been in offensive meetings. We're really watching ourselves, studying ourselves from what we did in spring ball and how we can get better, and what guys are going to contribute and what guys did we really made a case for themselves that we really didn't think about before. So we're really studying ourselves right now. I know the defense is already studying our first 3 opponents, and when the schedule comes out, they'll be able to. I'll be able to let you know who they're studying, but that's what it's about. That's our next test. That's our next test. Right now it's quizzes every day, assignments every day, getting a little bit better every day. And then, come hopefully September 5th, whenever that first game is, we'll be ready to play. And, that comes with learning the opponent now. That we can't win them all if we don't win that first one. So that's what we're getting prepared for now.
All right, Russell, any advice you got before we end this session with if there are any high school students or parents watching this, what's the advice from a college coach about kids, football, coronavirus? What would you want to say to them?
Yeah, your social media is your resume right now. We can't go out there and see you work, so you better be posting videos. You better be doing what you can to market yourself the right way to get you out there to those college coaches that are looking. Because I'm on social media every day. I'm watching a different huddle every day, and then I go and immediately go and check their social media before I even contact them to make sure that they have the right character. They're what we want in a student athlete. So make sure you market yourself the right way, and then above all else, stay safe. Social distance, do what they ask you to do, and we'll get this thing over sooner rather than later, and then we can get back to the way things were. But got to come out this thing healthy and keeping as many people healthy as we can. It's not about just keeping yourself healthy. It's about keeping the people around you healthy. So be mindful of them, and let's get this thing over with, and let's get back to work.
And there was only one rule at Georgia Southern when Irk Russell was there: just do the right thing. And that you've bumped that statue many a time, and that's what they preach at Georgia Southern. That's what every coach should be preaching: just do the right thing.
Yep, definitely one of the best to do it, and great rule to live by.
Man, hey, appreciate you so much. There's some other stuff I'll probably just text you and ask, about recruiting. I just want to get some insight on. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, man, appreciate you guys. Have a good one, and I'll enjoy the rest of the show.
I appreciate it, Russ.
Yep.
Tell Kate hello. Talk to you later.
Bye.
I mean, I've been watching this kid since he's 4 years old, and I'm not bragging on my son, but this kid would sit down and watch film with me. And he'd ask questions like, where's the ball going? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I'm telling you, right, he's just a sponge. He's a sponge for anything that he puts his mind to. But He just loves the game of football. He loves Savannah State. He's been there for 6 years. He's the only coach that's been there for 6 years, and he just bleeds blue and orange. But he's just a sponge. And you want to meet a kid that knows about recruiting and knows about how to do the right thing. And when it comes to when you're on the college campus.
Yeah,
great interview.
I think that's one thing he said that we've been talking about at the end of each show is your social media. And so right now, this is what coaches are evaluating. This is how they're getting to know you as a person, because they can't physically come meet you, come talk to you, come watch your practice. And so it's so important. Huddle and everything else. You have videos checking on your social media. I've been seeing a lot lately of kids going out and doing workouts. It's maybe just them and another person. And I've seen that being posted to Huddle, so coaches can see more. Hey, this is what I look like in the fall. This is what I physically look like now, and these are the changes. And so it's a game we all play. Recruiting is it's a lifeblood of every college program, and so it's great to see that. First thing Russell and them talked about is, hey, everything right now is based on your social media. The platform you are, how you market yourself, how you put your name, like your tag. Is important. Like, can we find you on social media?
Yeah, thanks, Makos. My handle is Little Cutie Booty Pants. I got you on that one.
And so, can we find you on social media? It's very important. So, great interview there by Russell, and I know we got hopefully marketing wings here. And
all right, well, this is what we're going to do. This is all live, so we don't have pre-recorded commercials. So, as the AD. Thanks to our sponsors that have been backing the Karl DeMasi Sports Board, and now the coach and AD. We got to give them some love, and I'm going to hook up with our next guest. Let's hear how a high school football coach is looking at this whole coronavirus pandemic. We'll come back with Mark Stroud. It's all you while I get Mark Stroud.
All right, guys, we're live here at Coach's Corner. It is all sports all the time. That Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running. And it's no wonder. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. And right now, smoked meats galore. We already talked to John this morning. You're going to have ribs, brisket, chicken, coming off the grill later today. And so, come off that smoker. So make sure you get that. Right now, it's all about helping Savannah be Savannah strong. Coach is open for lunch and dinner. All right, remember, it's curbside takeout or delivery only. All right, they have a whole store up front here. If you want to come in, they got everything you need in their mom and pop shop. So call coaches to place your order at 912-352-2933. Once again, that's 912-352-2933. And you're driving on Victory, you'll see the smoke, and you'll be drawn in by it anyhow. All right. Rockies, New York, Deli, and Italian. Is this our year anniversary today?
2-year anniversary. 2 year. Rocky's been in Sandfly.
So this is Rocky's 2-year anniversary day. So make sure you go over there today and celebrate with them and order something. So you still want some real New York deli and Italian food. Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York.
Bada bing, bada boom. Come on, put some gusto in there.
I'm working on it, man. New York's Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah. During this social distancing problem, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That is 912-354-2914 on the phone. Capiche? Did I get that right? Close?
A Southern boy trying to say capiche, capiche.
I got to go back and watch some Godfather tonight. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to you, go to savtakeout.com. Once again, that's savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's Deli and New York Catering, we ain't New York style. We are New York.
We ain't New York. We are New York. You know what I mean? Forget about it, y'all. All right, so which one are we up to? I'll give you a little breather here. So
I'm at Thompson's.
You're at Thompson's? Okay. I remember it's caps, not capes, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
you already send it, Mark?
Yeah, Mark's ready to go. We got Mark in the waiting room. He's in the coach's corner green room. Just so you know, people, all the guests are on their phone or on their computer. Chad and I are the only ones, and we're about 6 feet apart. So we're doing the social distancing thing. But I figured, why not give some love to Coach's Corner? Because John Henderson's been very, very good to the coach. So we're doing it live here every Saturday morning. So when you saw that promo, we're not with each other. Okay, Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies. For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods and trophies, Thompson has got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to football, yes, from volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop, so come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. New location, 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and seasonal on Saturdays. They're closed right now because of the pandemic virus, but they'll be back with all your sporting good needs after this all over. And remember, at locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, everybody is a winner.
All right, so we will finish out with Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. If your back hurts or nobody hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up if you can and throw it across the room, at Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located in 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and in Pooler, where everything's cooler, all right, at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington and Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your needs. And he's an essential service, so he is open. So make sure you go and see him during this time if you need him.
Coach's Corner, Rocky's New York Deli, and Dr. Bart Wetherington, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is open. Well, you know, it's the coach and the AD. Today's show is live and presented by John Henderson right here at Coach's Corner. We're in the Sound Garden. And remember, we're having a lot of fun talking local sports. We're talking about how the coronavirus pandemic has affected college. Now let's go to the high school level. This man has been involved in high school sports. Where did he go?
I'm here. Yeah, we got a house.
There he is.
There he is.
He's been coaching football for a very, very long time. Just like me, I look like the old guy. He looks like the young guy. The man runs miles and miles and miles a day. But from Calvary Day School, always does a great job. And one of the most humble guys you want to meet, but one of the best football coaches in the southeast of Georgia. It's the head ball coach at Calvary Day School, Mark Stroud. Mark, thanks for coming on.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, having a lot of fun, talking about sports, talking about what people are doing during the coronavirus pandemic. So as a head football coach, how has this affected Mark Stroud and his football program?
Well, I tell you, it's definitely taking everybody down new avenues. I mean, you're having to do all your in some ways it's drawn us together a little bit, honestly, our coaching staff, because we're everybody's kind of strung out when you're during the course of the year, but now we're all confined and we're communicating to each other pretty constantly, and we're getting on and communicating through like we're doing this morning. So we're having meetings already and talking through everything. It's kind of for us as a staff, I think, is probably in anything is going to bring us a little bit closer together. And so we're just trying to create an opportunity out of it, be better, and to draw closer together and encourage each other. It's not the ideal by any means. We wish we were out there getting after it, but it's what it is. So we're trying to make the very most of that. So in that manner, it's helped us to kind of, draw closer as a staff, because we're, it's one of those things we're all in together and we're kind of trying to move forward together and checking on each other and spending some time talking to each other. Usually everybody's so wide open this time of year, you just kind of pass them on the runway, but now we're having to settle in and actually talk and think about things, think about how to make our program better. So from the coaching standpoint, we're able to spend a little more time together, honestly.
So Mark, just walk us through kind of, are you having like weekly staff meetings with your guys and how that's being broken down a little bit? Okay.
Yeah. We're just trying to take after this past year. We're trying to just kind of go from A to Z through the program and see what's, what we need to improve, what's what we like, what we don't like. I mean, just everything from A to Z. So I've been in the process of doing that. So we're just going back from football 101 as far as the program, how it's going. And so I'm sending something out to our staff the day before, what coaching requirements. This is what our coaches should do. This is how we should look as a staff. And then talking through those things. And then throwing out there, this is our vision, this is our mission, these are our core values, this is who we are, and then throwing that next day out there to our staff. And so we'll meet on something that I've sent out to them, and it gives them a chance to chew on a little bit and think about it. and then come back and talk it through. And it's been kind of good because, again, for us right now, just from the pure stuff like that, program stuff, everybody's got a chance to think about it. Otherwise, you'd send something out, and this guy's going to coach track, this guy's going to coach soccer, this guy's doing this guy's doing that, and they're just kind of glancing at it. And, you'll have to come back and redo that later. But now everybody's got a chance to really put some thought into it. So from that respect, it's working. So we're getting together a couple times a week and just kind of checking on each other. And we're texting in between as well, checking on each other. Then we're actually having, a couple days a week having this actual staff meeting. So that part's kind of good. And, we started reconnecting our players this week. So we're moving that direction as well.
Okay, and you're listening to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the coach and AD during the coronavirus pandemic, because this guy's not running around wearing 50,000 hats, so he can join me every Saturday. And we're talking to the head ball coach over at Calvary Day School. He's been doing this a long time, and that's Mark Stroud. All right, so you talked about the coaches. How are you taking care of the kids? Are you giving them workout programs? Are they watching videos of what your formations and what the defenses are? How are you taking care of the ball players there, Coach?
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. I mean, we're having our strength and conditioning coach, Logan Daves, is sending a workout out to the kids every day. And, it's modified so they can do it with or without weights. You just got a program out there that can do lots of different things. So that's going out to the kids. And I'm sending stuff behind that of some things we're just, encouraging our kids to get out, at least push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, whatever you can do. I'm trying to challenge our kids to get out and, get to where they can run a mile comfortably just to gain some fitness. We're talking to the kids about eating, about drinking plenty of water, trying to take this time to sleep, just doing some things that just going to make their body healthy. So we're definitely doing that. That's a challenge. As you all know, you're going to have varying levels of commitment to that. So you can't really run a check on it, except you're hoping your kids are doing it. We encourage them to do it. And it's obvious that some of them are doing it, and we're trying to get them to post some things as well to encourage each other. And some of them are jumping on that pretty good. So that is a challenge to make sure they're staying fit, because we just you don't never know. You just don't know when it's going to. You got to take the next step and go back to work. So we want them to come in there as fit as we can, and we're kind of, it's an ongoing process of trying to bring some kind of accountability to the fitness stuff.
And once again, you're listening to Coach and AD. We're talking to head ball coach from Calvary Day School, Mark Stroud. It's all yours, Coach. You got the next question.
Mark, we had Russell DeMasi on from Savannah State before you. Just talking about what they were doing recruiting wise. Kind of walk us through from a high school coach's perspective. This is a big time for high school football players. This spring is massive. We typically have between 40 and 50. College coaches that come through Calvary and just Chatham County in general has become a hotbed for football recruiting. How is that now happening, and how are you being able to connect with college coaches, or how is college coaches connecting with you? We have several rising seniors who, are on a lot of colleges' radar at various levels, and so kind of walk us through how the recruiting aspect has gone on through a high school coaches during this phase.
Well, the first thing you do is you just don't ever not answer a call, even if you don't have any idea what the number is. So, as you all know, you get all those, crazy calls on your phone that you don't want to answer sometimes. But so I just simply answer every call. And because sometimes it's going to be a guy that's setting up for the other coach. Like they're trying to figure it out too, honestly. And I'm sure Russell talked about that some. They're trying to figure out the best way to make it all happen. So sometimes they'll have a compliance guy or somebody else call you prior to, the actual call you're going to get. So you just got to make sure you answer the phone. That's the first thing. And then you just got to be patient, because right now they're having to evaluate a whole different situation. I mean, they're not seeing a kid. They have seen him before probably, but, we've got a couple kids that have just kind of blown out of the roof as far as their bodies have gone in the last, 4 or 5 months. And sometimes they haven't seen that kid, since then. So you're having to make sure you answer the call. Then you're having to make sure you're just patiently talking through the whole process. They're asking those questions that they used to ask 20 years ago, Coach DeMasi.
Coach, you and I go back 30 years ago.
Yeah. So,
I'm not telling anybody that, but we do. We go back to when we had the chalkboard, we had the 8mm film, and this new stuff is unbelievable.
Oh, it's crazy. And so used to, you felt like now it's so much about measurables. Sometimes they don't even ask the questions that they used to ask us. Was about a kid's character, about a kid's work ethic, how good a player is he really, all those things. So they're trying to dive in. They're having to dive into some depths of some things that they used to do, and so you have to just be patient and and talk, and just carve out some time. I mean, it's not going to be it's not going to be a quick process. So typically, I've been on the road, I've been everywhere, just taking calls and just you have to just stop somewhere and talk. Because you want to do as well as you can for the kids they're checking on, and you want to give them as much information as you possibly can, because they're having to get information they don't normally get. And then we're trying to figure out, how do we handle the next step is how you got to be able to get transcripts to people, and that's go ahead.
And you and I have lived this. I was involved with football for almost 30 years. I haven't done it in the last 4 or 5 years. You've been doing it as long as I have. And, going back to the days when we started, we were typing letters. We were sending out 8mm film. Then, of course, VHS, now CDs, and now we got Huddle. You don't have to do this anymore. How has Mark Stroud dealt with the change over 30 years coaching? I know I'm not done yet. I can go another 10 years. I know you're not done yet. This is what keeps us young. I tell my wife I never left high school, just like you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. And fortunately, as time has gone on, it's gotten a little easier to navigate all these things. I mean,
yes.
not because I'm smarter or not because I understand it better. Just the technology is just a little bit easier now than I think it was a few years ago. The way everybody was just first diving into some of this, and you're like, wow. You feel
they don't know how easy they have it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on coaches. Usually, as you well know, every Saturday morning we used to get up on Saturday morning and drive somewhere and meet somebody, exchange VHS tapes, and that was just then you get back and sometimes they're terrible tapes, and it's just and then you can't. There's no hardly rewinding and going forward. You just got to get what you get. So that's changed so much. So, but I think we usually have somebody on staff that's pretty good at it, and that can help me if I need help. But again, the technology is getting so much better, and it's so much user friendly, because I think they know naturally that we got a lot of things going on, and not all of us are tech savvy as some of the other folks that are younger. So the technology has just really gotten easier, and really how it is until you're forced to do something new. Then you don't do it, but when you're forced to do it, you learn it pretty dang quick.
You got to learn everything I do with radio and this now. I'm learning on my own. I haven't gone to school for it. And Russell just threw one out here. He remembers back in the day when he drove to Dublin with me a couple of times to get some playoff tape. So yeah, it goes around. Next up.
Yeah, Mark, we talked about the college aspect and the college coaches, and what has been your conversation with a college coach. I mean, you don't have to name who it is, but like when they call you, what are some things they're asking you now, particularly about a kid that, hey, might be a tweener in between, or they like their film, but they want to see it grow. So what are some of the questions that college coaches are asking you as a high school coach?
Yeah, like I said, they are talking about some of the intangibles a little bit more than I think they have in the past. Just because they're coming in there, they're eyeballing somebody, watching a guy practice or whatever, and they're seeing a few more things, than they naturally can without that. And they're definitely seeing film, but they are, again, diving into all the way. What kind of home life has he got? What's his parents like? All of that. They're doing as much. They're going as deep as they can with checking on the kid's character. Tell me about his work ethic. Tell me about his, how's he as a teammate. All those things that they're hoping is going to be good. They're checking, they're just diving into all those things really well, and they're trying to do as much as they possibly can about finding who the kid really is. Because you know how it is. I mean, no one in those relationships like that, the kid won't know what he's gotten into for a year. And really the coaches won't know what they've gotten into for a year. So I think it's a lot about trust. They're having to really, trust the coaches they've dealt with. And, if you hope you've developed a good reputation with the staffs, that when you talk to them, then they believe you. And so, I mean, we want to be super fair to our kids, but we also want to be honest, because in the end of things, if you want any credibility with anyone, you'll have to be honest with that staff. And if you're not being honest with them, they're going to look back and they're like, he's always going to say the same thing about his kids, but you just simply have to be honest about it. So they're counting on us quite a bit more than, there was a long stretch where the high school coaches were really, they could be make or break for a kid because it was just a different setup, 10 years ago even. And now it's more like we're going to take as many as we can get, and we figure if the guys got the measurables and all that, then we'll make it work. But now it's kind of shifting back a little bit to they're just having to really deeply rely on what the coaches are saying about a kid and what they think about him. And, they're gauging it on. They know we've had other kids, and they know we've done it for a long time, Carl. And so they were, which is, I think it's probably good for them to some degree, getting back to some of the just really foundational things about recruiting is really who is that kid, and can he really play, and does he love football? Is he a good character kid? Is he got a good work ethic? Is he going to get along with his teammates? Is he a prima donna? They're asking all those questions.
Do they still use prima donna, Coach? Do they still use that word prima donna?
They have many words for it, but it's the same word.
So, all right, we got to wrap this up. And once again, great interview with Coach Mark Stroud from Calvary Day School. All right, I know you got your kids, but there are a lot of kids out there that are playing football that want to get to the next level or want to do the right thing. Coach Stroud, how to meet these kids one-on-one. What's your advice to them?
Well, you got to take care of your academics first. It's just, you have to, you're going to have some, God-given ability that's going to, typically if a kid's got a decent work ethic and loves the game, and if he has God-given ability, he's going to have an opportunity to play somewhere. Now, that's all on him then. How hard is he going to work? How much is he going to – what's he going to do with what he's been given is going to do a lot where he's going to go up or down. But there's some things you just simply can't control. Your genetics, it's what it is. But you can play somewhere if you love the game enough and you really have some ability. And but if you don't take care of it, I've seen it so many times where a recruiter walks in, checks on a kid, and never sees the kid, looks at his transcript, and walks right back out the door. And so you have to take care of your academics first, and you have to put the work in. You have to be a great teammate. You have to love the game. Make sure you're living your life, not someone else's life, parents or anybody else's. If you don't love the game enough to do it, don't do it. Do something else. You're just not going to define your life if you're a football player or not a football player. That's not going to make you who you are. So I'd say make sure you're living your life and just doing all the things that are necessary to be a player. Go do it. And you can't listen. You never know where you're going to land at. I was looking at something this week on news about all the best small college NFL players. You never know where you're going to land at, but you also you never know exactly where you're going to end up. So you go out there and work as hard as you can work with the ability you've been given, do all your academics, be a great teammate, be a great character guy. And if you get a shot to go play, and you never know where it's going to end. Hey, Coach, about the VHS tape, one of my first year in coaching, me and one of our coaches went down to Camden County to exchange film. We went to a Friday night game. I was like my first year coaching. I was like scouting and being the head JV coach. And we go in there and we forgot the tapes. So we took a very hard cussing by a very seasoned Camden County coach.
I can understand that one. Mark, be safe. I know you got your family you're hanging out with. You're doing a good thing, and like I said, no better ball coach in the Southeast or one of the top in the Southeast because you've done a great job wherever you've been, and Calvary's blessed to have you. Thanks for coming on, Coach Griffin.
Hey, man, did you already run this morning?
As soon as we get off here, I'm taking off.
All right, man. Go get him, brother. Be safe.
Right. See y'all. Bye.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Mark Stroud from Calvary Day School. I mean, what more can I tell you? I'm not making this up. The man has over 200 and something wins in his career. But for Mark Stroud, and Chad he's worked closer than I have. My son got coached by him. But Mark Stroud is a coach that I want my sons, and one of my sons did, to play for. It's not all about the wins and losses. It's about life's lessons. It's about believing in something higher than what we are doing on this earth. I mean, you want a good ball coach? You want someone that has fundamentals and believes in doing the right thing? I've never heard this man curse and cuss, as they say down here. Just a great guy and a lot of insight. And Chad, I can go back with you. Like you said, the first thing is I'm not going to lie to a college coach like he's not going to lie to a college coach to get that kid somewhere. You got to be good. You got to have good character. You got to have good social media, social skills. And, of course, the grades do play a big role.
It does. And, I think for all of us, I think that's a great aspect. Because we've talked about with a lot of high school coaches, not just Mark. I've talked to Baker, and I've talked to Danny Britt, and I've talked to Cam when he was at Jenkins about, hey, what has changed in recruiting for you guys as a coach? And it's like, listen, now, I mean, these kids go to these combines or showcases, and it is about the intangibles, the measurables, height, weight, 40, broad, certain these things. But you also just, in those instances, those are great things, and you got to have that athleticism, but it doesn't measure the heart of a football player. I think about Jalen Leary from Calvary, probably one of the best, hardest working football players I've ever been around. But, he was a little bit undersized, for running back, didn't run a 4, whatever. But he loved the game of football and found a great fit at Stetson. But he was so frustrated through the process because he felt he was under-recruited, but he found a place to play and absolutely loves it. I think about Robert Hayward, who
Johnson.
Also, if he was 2 inches taller, he'd been a D1 middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
He was an all-conference player at Townsend, and is going to try to see if he can get into the league. But there is not anybody who loved playing football and practicing football more than Robert Hayward did. And so, but those are just stories that every high school has.
Right.
Every high school has those stories. Every high school coach can tell you, hey, these are 3 or 4 kids that were probably under-recruited, because you can't measure a kid how much they love the game. And that's what Mark said, and I guarantee you that's what any high school coach we bring on here will say the same thing, is that kid has to love the game of football to be great at it. Because when you get to, whether it's remember, we're practicing in 95-degree heat. You got pads on, helmets. It's a little bit different now than even 5 years ago. But you have to love practicing. You have to love the grind of it to get that next level. And so it's great to see that that common thread through it all. Hey, college coaches are now getting back. Hey, we can't have these combines. We can't have kids at camps at our school. And so, hey, they're going to really go off what a high school coach says. Hey, is he a great character kid? How's his work ethic? Is he a good teammate? How much has he grown, physically? And all these, intangibles that you used to get measured at a camp or combine are now getting back to, the measurables that probably really count in a football kid.
There's a lot that goes into it now. Okay, and we're going to go to the other side, because the next segment is the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. Now I got a camera that can work. I did have an athlete committed to being on here today, but due to his new school, when he leaves high school, he was not permitted to come on. So, but we'll have an athlete every week. So we're going to go to the other side. We're going to take a parent's point of view. This coach, AD, his son was playing college baseball at Georgia College and State. The first Facebook Live, Twitter Live that we tried to do at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering was with Casey Brown. I didn't have this little program app to do this, but Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown's been a stellar athlete out of Glenn Academy, played at Middle Georgia College, won a junior college championship, went over to play at Armstrong, stayed here in the good old Savannah, Georgia, coached at Groves for many a year. Now he's doing a great job at Woodville Tompkins. So we're going to get his opinion or his outlook on how this affected a parent, but he's also going to go to the other side, put his AD's hat on and tell us about what's going on in the public school where he's at and where the other public schools are with Woodville Tompkins. So as I line up my next guest, here we go again. Bada bing, bada boom.
Back to the people that make this show possible and that we're so grateful for. As you're watching, you see Karl's shirt when he gets back on here, the 912 shirt. We want to make sure we thank Sierra Thomas at Specialty Sports. And so if you want to support the 912, your local businesses, you can go to specialtysports.com, order the shirt. It's $14. They will mail it to you, ship it to you for free. All right, so they're eating the shipping costs on that. So and what they're doing is they're taking that money and they're giving it back to a local business that's serving the community. Last week they gave it back to Bowtie Barbecue. Okay, so they're drawing out of a hat each week those. You also can go to Fleet Feet, all right, and get your Savannah Strong T-shirt as well. And so we'll get that up.
I'll flip that one on next. That was my goal, but it was a little chilly this morning.
It's still a little chilly right here.
And she had to get me a big one, and green makes me look a little Irish, even though green's in the Italian flag. But it's a great shirt. Be Savannah Strong, 912 Be Strong. Sierra Thomas at Specialty Sports. Thanks, buddy. Representing you.
That's right. All right, so we're going to start back here at Coach's Corner as Coach DeMasi gets our next guest lined up. All sports, all the time. All right, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant fun food, and like I said, smoked meats on the grill all day, every day. All right, so come by Victory Drive here, see Coach's Corner. All right, help Savannah be Savannah Strong. Coach's open for lunch and dinner. All right, remember it's curbside, takeout, or delivery only. All right, call Coach's Corner and place your order at 912-352-2933. Once again, that's 912-352-2933. All right, now I'm going to do Thompson's as well for over half a century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies. Thompson's has got you covered. From cleats to caps to best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop at their new location, 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C. All right, closed currently, but when they open back up, make sure you go see Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies because everyone is a winner.
All right, I'll do the Rockies one as we wait for our next guest, Kevin Brown, to log on to his email. Okay, Rockies New York Deli and Italian Catering. Okay, yo, you still want some real New York Deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rockies New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia. During this social distancing problem, Rockies New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish. Okay, if you want Rockies New York Deli and Italian Catering, you want the goods delivered to your door, go to savtakeout.com, order it there, and they'll bring it. All right, so remember, Rockies New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York, we are New York.
Y'all.
All
right, then I got Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic here. Dr. Bart Wetherington, is that him on there?
I don't know, is that?
Yeah, look there.
Oh,
Bart.
yeah, there he is.
How you doing, Mr. Bart? Good morning, man.
It's the doctor.
Dr. Bart. Good to we got to have Dr. Bart on, man. I'm a passionate guy.
Hey, we can have that. We can have that parents view next week with him.
That'd be great. That'd be great. So, Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, your back hurts and everybody hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room if you can.
Okay.
At Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and, of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
All right, what do we got left there, buddy?
That's it.
We got them all covered.
Got them, man. We're ready to roll.
All right, I'm waiting for Coach Brown. Once again, you're listening to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the coach AD, and it's presented live on Facebook Live and Twitter Live by Coach's Corner. We're in the Sound Garden. We're having a lot of fun. We're talking local sports, and hopefully we can get Coach Brown on. We're talking about how the coronavirus pandemic has affected people. And Coach Brown has been a high school teacher here in Savannah, Georgia for a long time, high school coach, Groves High School now at Woodville Tompkins. So let me see if I can connect to him again. Let me send him another invite, and we'll see if we can get him to come on.
Well, in the meantime, Carl, we're going to talk to people a little bit about, hey, what's going on currently in high school athletics. I want everybody to know that, there's still, even though high school athletics got canceled for the state of Georgia, I want everybody to know people are moving behind the scenes at breakneck speed to try to figure out how we can get some things done for our senior athletes when we do get back and can congregate together. So understand there are ADs in this community. There are great community people that are invested, in this place who want to see student athletes get back and play baseball and soccer and run track and do tennis and these things. So, be patient. As we telling all of our student athletes right now, you got people moving behind the scenes that are trying to get these athletes back on the field to let them have some semblance of, hey, finishing their season out or one more time to put on that uniform and play. So, I want people to stay positive. And if you got a son or daughter at home that, is especially a senior, and they're a little bit down because, hey, they might miss prom, or they're on questions about graduation, or hey, I just didn't get to complete my senior season. Hey, parents, stay positive with them. Know that people are working tirelessly to figure something out that we can help make this the best situation we can to finish out for our student athletes. If we can get back to doing something for them, listen, the plan's in place, okay, and hopefully we'll get to do that. It might be June. It might be July before it happens. I know that seems a long way away because we're, April 10th, 11th right now, but for student athletes I've talked to, whether it's public, private, or whoever, they've all said that they want some semblance of closure. All right. I know some just want to turn the page and go on, but a lot of them, for the 97%, they're not going on to play college athletics. They would like to play one more time. Imagine just lacing up those cleats one more time, putting that glove on one more time, having that last at bat or last time on the mound, with your buddies and people you grew up with. And Carl and I talk about this all the time. This is what makes Savannah so special, is that we're small enough that these kids grow up, you're playing with each other on new teams or playing together, and they know each other so well. There might be best friends off the field or at different schools, but when they play, they truly enjoy that moment. And so that's all working. There's so many people behind the scenes that are doing that, for these student athletes. It's not just here in Savannah. ADs across the state are trying to figure out what's next and how we can get our student athletes back to do that. And so a couple of things from Georgia High School I wanted to mention. One thing that came out of the board of trustees meeting for everyone is, typically this time of year is when you get physicals for your next school year, for your student athletes. So Georgia High School right now is working on trying to find out if they can legally extend what your student athlete's current physical in to August 1. That way, when kids are allowed to get back on campus, they can't just say, hey, you can't get back on in practice because you don't have a current physical. So that's one thing Georgia High School is looking in right now. It's like, hey, can we legally extend this physical to August 1? And that way, it gives them time to get back on campus, start training with their coaches and their teams, and get those physicals done.
Hey, you held down the fort pretty good there, buddy.
I can talk about sports forever, man.
Well, we got Kevin Brown in the waiting room, so let's add him right here. And there he is, the man, Kevin Brown. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning? Doing all right? How about you, Chad? How you doing?
Hey, you got volume on somewhere on another phone or something?
What's going on?
Awesome. All right, so we're trying to get Kevin Brown on. Is he back in the waiting room again there?
No, he's not back on there. Oh, here it is. Here we go.
You got me?
We got you, Coach.
Okay.
Once again, Kevin Brown, AD at Woodville Tompkins, got to start a new program over at Woodville Tompkins High School. Coached many a year at Groves High School. Started all this at South C. Johnson, from what I understand. But Coach, thanks for finding time to come on. And of course, I got to get to the other point, which I left out, Chad. He has a son, Casey Brown, and his daughter, Alex. Okay, Alex Brown. But his son, Casey, was in his senior year at Georgia State Georgia College now, was having an unbelievable year and got cut short. So we'll get that to in a second. But thanks for coming on, Kevin.
Coach, I appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do week in and week out. You and Chad, man, it's great to kind of promote kids in this area. And Chad hit it. I think Savannah for a long time was considered like a basketball community, and I think football has really picked up the pace here in town. And so it's good. I appreciate what you guys do as an athletic director, man.
Well, Kevin, like I said, I've been here for 18 years now, and for me, you're probably one of my most respected colleagues that I turn to, that I can call to, anytime and get an honest opinion, in perspective. So I appreciate all that you do for our student athletes, and I want people to know out there are people like Kevin who care so deeply about our student athletes here in Savannah and this community that want them to succeed on so many levels. And I think at times people just, Kevin, you know how it is, man. They show up to your gym and they just think, hey, this basketball game is going on, but they don't realize everything that goes on behind the scene to make things go. And so, man, I just appreciate what you do and the impact that you're having on the lives of student athletes. And it's going to be great today to talk about. We're going to dive into your son, but I also got some questions about your daughter and, how, her transition right now, as she prepares, her commitment to UNC Chapel Hill, which is by far the greatest school there is, her transition and kind of like what she's hearing from her college coaches at this point. But I'll turn it back over to Karl and let him get away with some of the things he's wanting to get to you to.
All right, let's first start with the parent aspect. I had a good long talk with a high school student's parent that was supposed to come on this weekend, but he couldn't do it. Just devastating to what the situation is. No senior prom, no finish out the track season. I mean, it just devastated him and his family, but they're getting through it because the kid's going to go on and play at the next level. Now, Casey Brown, South Effingham High School, all-region, unbelievable baseball player, gets to the next level, makes a good name for him in South Georgia, goes up to Georgia College, and junior year was kind of tough. He got acclimated to it. This year, off to a great start, 15 games, batting .400. And then when you heard that, I know you posted on Twitter or Facebook that you finally got to see a game this year. What was going through your mind when you found out your son might be playing his last game or played his last game ever?
Yeah, that was, he and I had talked about some things leading up to that. And something said, that last weekend that they actually were able to play, they were at USC Aiken, a beautiful stadium facility, by the way. And that Sunday morning, his sister and his mom had gone on Saturday, and I was like, I had something going on. I said, man, I need to go see him Sunday. And I looked at his schedule, and I said, no, they got a midweek in Milledgeville, and next week they play in Milledgeville next weekend. I'll see him then. And then when I got up Sunday, man, something was just, weighing on me to go. And I don't know if it was divine intervention or if it was guilt or what, but I made the trip over there and was able to watch him play. And that was a great thing. But, we had a great talk afterward. But the next week is kind of when this stuff all started. And, you guys are very familiar with where we are and what it's evolved to right now, not only on the high school level, but also on professional level. So, but, Karl, you've been knowing Casey a long time. I know, Chad, you don't really know him, but Casey is he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He's a big picture guy. He understands, what's going on, not only here, but also in the world. And, he's extremely disappointed, but he understands the full scope of what's happening. So that's the best way I can describe it.
And is he going to go back for another year? Has he made up his mind? Because I know he was kind of, he was pretty sure he was leaning towards, but any other further discussion?
Yeah, we've talked about it, Karl. And, there's a lot of, what was it Yogi Berra said? When you come to a fork in the road, take it. So he's got a few prongs on the fork. So he can, he has the opportunity, obviously, to go back he's going to graduate. So now you get into a little, Hope Scholarship type stuff. You guys are aware of that. If you reach so many certain hours or you graduate, the Hope is discontinued. So, that's another kind of monkey wrench in it. He's got an internship based on what his major is. So there's a lot of variables that come into play, but I can promise you, I'm going to be talking to him, but he's a very intelligent guy. He does his research. And so whichever way he chooses to go is going to be the best for him. And I'm going to support him 100%.
Now, like you said, though, there's a lot of intangibles that he has to go through. And you being a college baseball parent, me being a former college baseball parent, everybody thinks they get a lot of money to play college baseball. You don't get a lot of money.
No, you don't. And that's why when I mentioned the Hope Scholarship a little earlier, that is a great advantage for kids in Georgia to stay in Georgia. So, yeah, I think the NCAA, they said, oh, man, it's great. Yeah, seniors, you come back for another year. But there was no – in baseball, you get 11.7 scholarships, and most schools carry 30 kids on their roster. And so, the peanut butter on the bread starts getting spread real thin when you talk about 11.7 with 30 kids. So that's kind of the thing that this kind of floating out there right now. I wish the NCAA would have taken. We're obviously in very, very uncharted territory, and I just wish the NCAA had, even if it was for a year, to give some of these baseball and college softball and track and field, those programs some relief as far as their, amounts of scholarships that they can offer.
It's the coach and the AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Board, heard every Saturday morning. We'll be live from the Sound Guarding at Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been very, very good to us. They're presenting the show, and we're talking to the Woodville Tompkins athletic director, teacher, too. He's got to teach health and fitness like I do. Kevin Brown, it's up to you, AD.
We got a chance to talk to your son a couple of weeks ago, and he was just awesome to talk to. You can tell he's super bright and organized and kind of understands. And we talked about a couple of those paths, like, hey, could he go back, as a grad student and get his first year of grad school paid for, from that standpoint. I know there's a lot of options he's leaning towards, but from a high school perspective, what's been the challenges during this time of keeping connected with your high school student athletes at Woodville Tompkins, and kind of maybe give us a couple kids who were having some good spring that, we just didn't get to really know about because of COVID-19.
Yeah, Chad, that right now is a big issue. We my principal and I reached out to all of our coaches when this first started. And of course, everybody's got their team on remind and things of that nature. So we were just encouraging our coaches, even our fall coaches, to reach out, especially to your seniors. And, let them know, hey, we're here for you. Whatever you guys need, we're going to support you. So that I was listening to Coach Stroud earlier. Man, he can really talk. That was a home run hire for you. I was able to take some grad classes with him at Georgia Southern. We were working on our masters, and so I've known him a little while too, and he's a great guy. But kind of listening to him as well, it's kind of just being there as a support system for him. But it is a challenge. Because you can't communicate with them other than, either, like I said, remind, or if you get them on a Zoom. I know our boys basketball coach, Liddy Williams, he's got his team, to where they can, it's on the Zoom type thing, and they can all, see each other and kind of talk and kind of interact socially, even though they're, social distancing. So, Chad, that is a huge obstacle that we have right now, but we're certainly not by ourselves. I mean, as the AD, man, softball tryouts could have happened in May. Cheerleading tryouts could have happened in May. So, everything now is kind of, I guess we're kind of writing what we're going to do for if something like this, hopefully never, but if something like this happens again, there'll be some type of path to follow that we've been down this road before. So.
Hey,
answering the question, we've got a couple of kids in particular in one in track. Otis Williams He had gotten some interest from a couple of schools, particularly Bruton Parker, and I believe Albany State has recently made an offer to him. So he's obviously a 4-year guy for us. I say a 4-year guy. He's a 3-year guy because we haven't had track at Woodville but 3 years, and he does a tremendous job. He runs the hurdles for us, and so he's got an offer sitting out there, and I think we're able to get in 4 meets, and so for him to be able to have an opportunity to possibly move on to the next level with a limited schedule that we had, that's just a tremendous thing for us.
Well, that's also the great thing about technology. Like, I was talking to our head track coach, Wayne Brantley, about that. He's like, hey, the fact you put all these times online, that are verified times, and colleges can just get online and look and scale through and say, hey, this time would have made him the 3rd fastest in Class A or AA or 3A in the state. Hey, the clock doesn't lie,
Yes, sir.
So those are some great things with sports like track and others that's different from like Coach Stroud in football, where, hey, you've not seen the progress of this kid since fall. You don't know that he's put on 20 pounds of muscle and grown 2 inches or whatever. But, from a track perspective, hey, if that kid has run the hurdles at this mark, it doesn't matter what classification that is. That time's that time. And so that's a great thing about technology as well, is like, hey, you can post that time and college coach will be like, man, that's a 5th, 6th fastest kid in the state. I mean, I want that kid. That's
exactly right. And it's a different time that we're in. You talk about track and field, but, swimming, golf. There are certain things, measurables, that the numbers don't lie. You're exactly right.
And you're listening to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the Coach AD Live on Facebook Live and Twitter Live. We're talking to the Woodville Tompkins athletic director, a good friend of mine. We go back a while, Mr. Kevin Brown. All right, so we got the private schools perspective. We need the public schools perspective. What's going on in the world of Chatham County with the coronavirus pandemic, and how is it affecting our athletics?
Well, I mean, we're like everybody else. This spring is a big time for now we don't have football at Woodville, obviously, but this spring is a big time for a lot of sports. And of course, my basketball coaches, boys and girls coaches, Lenny and Jeff, are burning me up about are we going to be able to go to team camps this summer? We're talking about getting checks and reserving our spot and transportation. And to be quite frank with you, Karl, we really don't know, to travel. If we're going to be allowed to travel. So it's really kind of, I hate to say that we're still kind of in an open area right now. I mean, you've got there he is. He's back. Your AD. Okay. You've got your AD at Islands, and I'm sure you guys communicate as well, and our district athletic director, and so we're getting information as it comes available. And to be quite frank with you, right now we're all as teachers trying to get on this online and make sure our kids, get their credits, especially the seniors, so they can graduate. So I think right now, not saying that athletics is taking a back seat, but I think right now, at least in our school system, we're focused on the kids and getting their classes organized online to make sure they've got their grades intact. And I think, once everything gets kind of in a steady flow there, I think we'll move to some other areas, which should include athletics.
Well, Kevin, you talk about that, and, the thing is right now is everybody has to be a little bit patient. I know we're all waiting for, Georgia High School to kind of make some things about, hey, like June basketball. Every coach, talking to Karl, talking to Jackie, talking to, Coach Carver, everybody, you guys made a big statement last year during the June camp series that GHSA put on when you guys went up there. And so it was big for a lot of your student athletes. And, that's where, coaches and communicating and colleges and all that, everybody's just got to, as much as we don't want to be patient and we're ready to get back into action, we're all just waiting on the next domino to fall to kind of let us know what we can and can't do, but even in the background, I think people are starting to plan in their head like, hey, we might miss a whole month of June, before we can get back. So how are we going to alter, fall sports? I was on a conference call with some others the other day about, hey, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing. I know Woodville doesn't have football, but to kind of football could start later like it used to after September, and basketball start later, which means spring sports can start later, and that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Maybe there's a good chance that we can realign a sports calendar that has a little bit more flexibility for all of us in it.
That's exactly right. And I certainly would not be opposed to that at all, because, all the years I coached baseball, we always start practice somewhere around, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And, it's hard for spring sports, to get out there in the temperatures in the 30s and 40s. And so from an old spring sports coach, backing it up a little bit to be able to enjoy some of that good spring weather would be a great thing. And also, you hit on a great point as far as, the summer. We don't need to jump right back into something. I think the more time we can take and get these kids back acclimated to a routine, I think would be a great thing, whether it's something that would go year to year or whether it's just a 1 year COVID calendar, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Chad. I think that'd be a great thing. And as a side note, man, I know you do a lot of work with GHSA, and to be quite honest with you guys, man, there's not a lot of voices down south. I think sometimes GHSA thinks the state of Georgia stops in Macon. And so guys like yourself, man, Earl Etheridge, Jesse Cruz, some of these guys, man, y'all are a strong voice for us down here, and it's much appreciated.
It's not the Mason-Dixon line when it comes to sports in Georgia. It's the Macon-Dixon line that we can't do anything. So, all right, Kevin, last food for thought, last thought about the coronavirus pandemic. And if we have some athletes listening out there or parents out there, what's your advice to them?
Well, Carl, as a parent, Casey's mom and I, obviously we're disappointed because of the baseball season and senior day. And of course, more than that is, graduation. All colleges have suspended commencement exercises. But in the grand scheme of things, some people have lost family members to this. Us losing a baseball season is, in the grand scheme of things, is not the biggest thing in the world. It is disappointing. Make no mistake, it is disappointing. But at the same time, Chad, I'm quite sure sometime in your coaching career, Carl, sometime in yours, you've said sports is a great teacher of life. It teaches you certain things that you need to know. And this is probably the biggest thing of all. And it's kind of taken away some things from some kids. But at the same time, we've got to understand what the big picture is. So a couple of kids I'm disappointed for. We weren't able to have signings at Woodville for them, but Bernard Pelote, one of our tremendous boys basketball players, he signed with Catawba School in North Carolina, D2 in North Carolina. And Tabitha Deal, one of our girl basketball players, she signed with Savannah State University. And, this not being able to get back to the school is kind of taken away from that, and those kids have worked really hard to get to that point. And so I'm disappointed for them, but I'm certainly proud of them and their accomplishments and how they've represented our school, over the past 4 years. So a quick question, Chad, have you heard anything? I was reading an article about something about the Be the Light Challenge. There's some high schools out in Texas. I didn't know if you've heard anything, but I think that what they're doing is they're cutting on their football stadium lights.
Stadium lights one night. Yeah. Some of them are doing it every night at a certain time from 8 to 9. Some of them are doing it one night a week. Now if you got LEDs, that's great. I know to turn mine on is $400 every time I flip.
No, that I was just curious, and it was really cool because I was reading it said one of the schools is using military time. They're cutting them on at 8:20, which in military time is 20:20, which obviously is a graduating class. Yeah. And they're leaving them on for 20 minutes. Yeah. So, that's in Texas, man. School systems and whatever, they're just kind of trying to honor these kids. And I think what people don't understand, coaches suffer because we're not seeing our kids, but also I think the kids are not around each other. They've been looking forward to this. So, I've seen some things on Facebook. Coach Williams at Savannah Arts Academy, I think he took some stuff to his seniors. I saw a billboard, I think
St. Vincent
did. Yeah. It's just, those are just a couple of examples, but our schools, public or private, I think everybody's got the great understanding that, these kids are disappointed and they need to know they've got our support.
Yeah. So, every school's doing things a little bit different. We've had a lot of Google Meets with ours, and they all, from ours, they've all said, hey, we want to wait as long as possible for you to give us any kind of senior gift, because if we can ever get it in person, we'd rather have it that way. I know other schools, and I've talked to other ADs and head coaches that said, hey, my seniors said, hey, go ahead and give it to me now. They're kind of turning that page, and every school and every kid's a little bit different. But it's been great to see, man, the things that Big Frank and everybody else has done, and Carl and others to recognize the student athletes, and every news agency, around here, hey, send the seniors in, send their portraits, and let's, they will, this will be a class to be remembered because of COVID-19. And, they were the 9/11 babies as well, after that. So they're a bookend group that will go down in history for a lot of different things.
That's exactly right.
Help you out, Mr. Brown, because I am an internet junkie when it comes to high school things. Richmond Hill High School is doing that. They're turning the lights on at 8 o'clock, leaving them on to 8:20. Mickey Baines, the athletic director over there, and just a class act, and it's going all over the United States. So there is a school right in this area that is doing what you just talked about. Richmond Hill
I'm certainly not advocating people spend that money like that. I just thought that was pretty cool.
It is. It's a cool thing.
It's a cool thing.
Sure it is. But everybody does. I mean, as long as the kids know they've got our support, that's the most important thing, however you choose to do it. So,
Coach Brown, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, and we'll keep in touch. I'll give you a call later on. I want to talk about your seniors. You got it?
I got it. And hey, don't put me after Russell DeMasi and Stroud ever again. Those two guys, man, you cannot follow that. Those guys were awesome.
Yeah, you can, man.
I know you're not gonna, you're not gonna realize this, but you're right up there, buddy. You're right up there.
Without doubt. You're one of the best, man. We appreciate it. And we'll get you back on, because I want to ask you about how it's impacting your daughter as an incoming freshman, and that could be a great topic for another day.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. So,
all right, Kevin,
man, you guys stay safe, man. Make good decisions, and I'll talk to y'all later.
I got you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
We got to plug once again. We got to plug our sponsors. We'll do that in a couple seconds. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been around here for a long time. He started his student teaching. I'm not going to give his age away, but in 1987 over at Johnson High School, and he lived at Groves for I don't know how long, and then the Woodville Tompkins job opened up. He grabbed that as the AD. Just you want to talk about a guy that loves this area, Kevin Brown. He's from the Golden Isle, but he really is a Savannian now. So once again, high school daughter, going to be a senior next year, going to North Carolina. She's been affected by this, and of course his son Casey Brown up at Georgia College, not getting to finish this year. And before we get Chad's point of view or Chad's feelings about Kevin Brown's right. He stood many a nights behind me during football games. And, I was a good coach. I still am a good coach, but the kids made me even greater. I would tell them after a tough loss, it's not the end of the world. It's only a game. Think about all the military men and women who are out there fighting for our freedom, that putting their life on the line. Well, think about it right now. We got all these people in the United States. No matter who you are, you're putting your life on the line. There's a bigger picture, this whole thing. Sports will come back. It's tough that you lost it. We feel for you, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, Kevin is a great perspective, and I don't want him to ever feel like he's shorting himself by four. He's such a humble guy. But, I rely on Kevin a lot because his wealth of knowledge and experience and depth of so many different things, it's great to get his perspective and understanding, from that. And he's someone that people – maybe that's what we need to do, man. Highlight an athletic director or someone else behind the scenes of these schools that
you got to say what goes on in the show, buddy.
Yeah, man, that truly impacts. I mean, Kevin's so impactful on so many levels in student athletes' lives, and it's great you get his perspective from a parent point of view, from an AD point of view, and got to recognize his kids who have signed as well. So Kevin, appreciate you, man, and thanks for all you do for high school sports.
All right, let's plug our guests, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll give you 2 minutes. I know we've been a long time. We had a little Wi-Fi problem, but let's finish this out. Don't forget, B912 Strong, Specialty Sports. Go to specialtysports.com. You can get your shirt. It's $14. Okay, here we go. We're brothers. Okay, he's got the dry fit. I had to get the cotton a little bigger than him. So Sierra Thomas, his assistant soccer coach, she does a great job at Specialty Sports, specialtysports.com. $14, and it's free shipping and handling. Then, of course, I got to talk to my buddy Mike Nadow. You want to grab that other side? Don't cover your face. Right there, Savannah Strong. Go to Fleet Feet Savannah. Okay, $12. Walk in the door. They're still open on that 12-foot distance, and they let people in one at a time. Right there, Savannah Strong. There's a lot of places online selling this T-shirt. I wear it every time I do my public service announcement. Go get a Savannah Strong or a 912 Strong shirt. Support our local businesses. Support our community. That's what you got to do. Let's give our love out to our sponsors.
Hey, once again, we got to thank John and Coach's Corner here for allowing us to be here each and every week, broadcasting you guys, keeping you updated with what's going on in the 912. So we're going to talk about Coach's Corner. Once again, smoked meats out here. You driving down Victory Drive. I mean,
what do you mean? We're sitting here. I'm smelling it. I want it.
Like I'm going to ask them if they got any ribs ready on my way out. So Coach's Corner, all sports, all the time. Here in Thunderbolt, Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder. Sports, live music, delicious, abundant fun food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner right here. And it's all about helping Savannah stay and be Savannah strong. Coach is open for lunch and dinner. But remember, it's curbside takeout or delivery only. So call Coaches to place your order at 912-352-2933. Once again, it's 912-352-2933.
And this may be a shock to all of you, but I think this is the first time Coach's Corner's doors will be closed on a Sunday for Easter, plus Adele and John Henderson and the family need a break for Easter Sunday. They will not be open tomorrow. I think it's like the first time in 25 years. So if you need something for tomorrow, come today, get it at Coach's Corner. They'll be open till 9 p.m. I got to thank this next school who's been a sponsor of mine since I've been on the radio. Of course, had some close ties with the AD and the headmaster and, of course, a kid going there. But Calvary Day School, I appreciate you supporting the Karl DeMasi Sports Sport because your belief is my belief. We need to get more information out there for our kids. So at Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. And believe me, I have a son that has grown spiritually from attending Calvary Day School. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school, one mission, and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet your family personally. Right now, it's virtually. So call Philip Lee, the director of admissions at Calvary Day School at 351-2299. That's 351-2291. Thanks, Cavaliers. And as always, go Cavaliers.
All right, Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies. For over half a century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's has got you covered. From cleats to caps, the best prices on the biggest brands. Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, to football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. New location, 42 West Montgomery, Crossroads, Suite C, and Savannah. Open, currently not open, but when they do, they'll be back open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and seasonals on Saturdays at locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
I guess he didn't want to do this one. And it's happy anniversary to Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. 2 years they've been in business, and they're still open. Yo, you still want some New York Deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia, during this social distancing problem. Okay, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take your calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish, go visit Bill Faciccio and the crew at Rocky's. Okay, if you want it delivered, okay, you want the goods delivered on your arm, go to SavannahTakeout.com, SAVTakeout.com, and they'll bring your Rocky's order. Remember, Rocky's ain't New York. They are New York. Forget about it, y'all.
Nice. And then once again, our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, All right, your back hurts and everybody hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler, Georgia, at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs, and they are still open. Dean, you need that service, so go see Bart Wetherington. He's open Monday through Friday.
Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays in Savannah. He told me his hours were from 8:30 to 6, and the same thing in Pooler, Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 to 6. Well, it's been a long show here, buddy, but we had a little Wi-Fi problems, but once again, great job. Look forward to doing this next week. Like I said, you're part of the show. You got an idea. Let's do it. Let's get the ADs on. Let's get parents on. Let's get the kids on. You have a Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, some kid or your kid or a student athlete that you know that needs a little more PR, that hasn't got enough. I don't care what sport it is, okay? Swimming, tennis, golf, track and field, baseball, basketball, soccer. I want them on here. We want to see who they are, and let's talk about what they've done that has been unbelievable. And Dr. Bart Wetherington's been sponsoring that since day one, since 2010. So other than that, buddy, I hope you have a good holiday. It's Easter Sunday. We got to do this social distancing thing. Be safe, wash your hands, and once again, your life's more important than anything else.
Man, love you guys. Appreciate you joining us, and enjoy your Easter weekend, and remember what it's really about. And we're grateful to have that, and have a great one, man. We'll see you soon.
And remember, every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m., right here in the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner, you can listen to the coach and the AD. Will be Facebook Live, Twitter Live every Saturday. And remember, as they say here, for me and Coach Griffin, it's all sports all the time on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Whatever you may be doing today, always hit it out of the park. Until next week, may be best week ever. Love you guys. Thanks for listening, and God bless.
Have a great one.
Happy Easter.